Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the debate competition with the topic of Tapera policy. Today, debate motion is the Tapera policy is an effective solution to overcome housing problem for the lower middle class in Indonesia. There are two teams, the pro teams and the con team, who have conveyed their arguments regarding this important topic. In the pro teams, there are Astrid Melani and myself, Dia Dahaulia, who will present the argument of agreeing with the Tapera policy. Of the other hand, there is a con team that we have Fitri Ramadhani and Zaki Ananta who will convey the disagreement argument against the Tapera policy. Let's watch the debate competition between the pro teams and the con teams. The People Housing Saving Policy Tapera is a government program that aims to help lower middle income people to get livable housing. In this case, we as a pro team think that the Tapera policy is an effective thing to implement because it can encourage equal distribution of home ownership and realize social justice in the housing sector. The reality that the house ownership gap is very high. This is evidenced by the National Socio-Economic Survey of the Central Strategic Agency record the backlog of home ownership in Indonesia reached 12.7 million in 2023. These conditions show a decrease compared to the 2017 to 2021 period, which touched 14 million but increased compared to 2022, which recorded 11.6 million. Therefore, with the Tapera policy, not only the government participates in terms of the home ownership gap, but the community is also invited to contribute in terms of meeting housing needs through salary cut for workers who have salary but above the UMR and employers of 3% of their income.
The People Housing Saving Policy, or TAPERA, in Indonesia is intended to provide solutions to housing problems, especially for the lower middle class. However, in this case, we as a country team are the opinion that TAPERA is not an effective solution to overcome the problem, although designed with the good intention to help people have access to housing. It can actually add a significant financial burden to workers, especially those with low incomes. With a contribution obligation of 3% of salary, of which 2.5% comes for workers and 0.5% from employers. Many workers feel oppressed by a pre-existing salary education for other programs such as BPJS Kesehatan and BPJS Ketenagakerjaan. In difficult economic situation, this additional dedication can result in greater financial hardship for them. Many workers who already own house told the People Housing Credit program feel that they should not be burdened with temporary contribution. About 75% of private employees already have a place to live. So this policy is considered unfair and irrelevant to them. In addition, there are concerns that the management of Tapera fund will not be transparent and effective, so the funds collected may not provide the expected benefits to the community.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Tapera policy aims to realize social justice for the lower middle class, which can certainly provide broad benefits for the community. The existence of this program can encourage equal distribution of home ownership and reduce social disparities. Tapera can be a means to prepare for future home ownership systematically through a saving mechanism. Meanwhile, for the government, this program can be one of the instruments to encourage more equitable and affordable housing development for the community. The main mechanism of Tapera is periodic contribution from participants, which are dedicated directly from the participant salary. For employees with a salary equal to the regional minimum wage, the contribution is 3% of the monthly salary. For example, the UMR of a region is 3 million per month, then the contribution to Tapera is 90,000 per month. This contribution consists of 2.5% paid by the employee and 0.5% paid by the employer. The funds collected from participant contribution will be managed by the People's Housing Savings Management Agency. The funds are invested in safe and profitable financial instrument with the aim of increasing the value of participant deposits in the long term. The distribution of Tapera benefits can be in the form of housing credit or financing, provision of down payment assistance, and other facilities related to home ownership. The governance stipulation, namely the existence of governance subsidy schemes and incentive for Tapera participants, can also contribute to increasing access to fairer housing. Through these schemes, low-income group can additional support in meeting their housing needs, thereby reducing the gap with higher income groups. In addition, Tapera also emphasized the principle of justice in management and distribution of benefits, professional and transparent fund management, as well as equal rights for all participants without discrimination that can prevent inequality in distribution of program benefits. With the allocation of Tapera funds for housing construction, this program can help encourage more equitable housing development, including in areas that have been underpaid.
Tapera's policies, while aimed at providing access to housing for the lower middle class, can actually be an additional burden for workers who are already facing economic challenge. With a 3% pay cut, 2.5% of workers and 0.5% of employers, many workers feel financially distressed. This is especially true for those with low incomes or those who work in the informal sector, where their income is unstable. This contribution obligation can reduce their purchasing power and create difficulties in meeting their daily needs. Based on report from the Ministry of Public Works and Housing, Auto Tapera is designed to address the housing backlog of 36 million units. The implementation of this program has drawn criticism. Many workers, especially in the informal sector, do not have a fixed income and will find it difficult to meet Tapera's contribution obligation. A study shows that 83% of the home ownership backlog comes from low-income communities who are most depressed by this policy. In addition, protests from various circles, including trade unions and academics, indicate widespread dissatisfaction with this policy. Based on the result of the Compass in the poll, there is a high rejection of Tapera's policies among the public, especially from low-income groups. Here is the data that shows the rejection. First, 55.1% of respondents reject the housing assistance scheme offered by Tapera. Of this, 43.1% of respondents expressly refused to follow this policy. Second, only 2.9% of respondents from the lower economic circle agree with the Tapera program. This figure is much lower than that of the upper 35.4% and middle 17.6% groups. And last, 52.8% of respondents felt that the 2.5% salary deduction for Tapera contributions was a burdensome burden, especially for low-income workers. In addition, the Indonesia Employer Association, or APindo, also reject the mandatory contribution policy of Tapera. The chairman of APindo, Sinta Kamdani, stated that this program is increasingly adding to the burden on employers and workers, especially in the midst of difficult economic conditions. The rejection also comes from the many industry workers union or IMIP, which represents workers in the Indonesia Morowali Industrial Park or IMIP area. They consider the wage cut policy for Tapera to be useless and suspected to be the government's effort to close the state budget deficit. With these various rejections, There was also a demonstration which on the national tempo peak showed that on June 6, 2024, thousands of workers held a demonstration against the Tapera program from the state's village. They consider this policy to be increasingly burdensome for workers in the midst of difficult economic conditions. I do not agree with the statement of the poor team sister who said that this program will encourage a possible distribution of home ownership in the future through savings mechanism, where where Alto Tapera aims to increase access to housing. There is no guarantee that participants will succeed in getting a home after saving. Many workers may not be able to qualify for a home with the funds raised from the contributions. So the initial purpose of the program is unknown. Also, Tapera is expected to address the housing backlog. Critics said that until now the problem is still unresolved. Data shows that many young people prefer the rent rather than buy permanent homes. So this policy does not touch the root of the housing problem in the community. Thus, this Tapera policy can lead to an increase in social and economic dissatisfaction among low-income communities. If many workers fall burdened by pay cuts, this can reduce productivity and increase the risk of conflict between workers and employers. Furthermore, if this program is not managed properly and does not provide clear benefits, then public trust in the government in handling housing problems will decrease. As a result, the main goal of providing decent housing for the lower middle class can actually be further away from achievement.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we don't agree with the argument given by the counter team because we can see from BPS data that the low-income people find it difficult to get housing due to increase in house prices higher than the growth of people's salaries. So that if the Tapera policy is not carried out to meet the needs and availability of house for low-income people who until now will experience a fairly high shortage, both in terms of the gap between built houses and needed houses. With the Tapera policy, the community will be more prosperous because they get a good place to live and living environment. For non-MBR, people who already have a house, their Tapera savings will be diverted to old age saving. The funds they save can be disbursed according to the deposit amount plus statutory interest after retirement. This is especially beneficial for informal workers who don't have access to social security such as pensions, protection, and or health insurance. Through Tapera, people can save to get the housing of their dream. In addition, Tapera also provides financial certainty in the future, so the Tapera offers solution to meet the needs of the community.
With the presence of this motion, we as a pro team state the Tapera policy is the government's step to overcome the gap related to housing by inviting the public to participate in contributing by cutting salary from workers who have salaries above the UMR and employers. In addition, the program set by the government is one step to implement social justice for the lower middle class and long-term benefit for the community.
With the presence of this motion, we as counter team state that the Tapera policy cannot be considered an effective solution to housing problem, especially for the lower middle class. Based on data and facts presented by our second speaker, we are serious considering and concrete evidence that this Tapera policy is not effective solution. Taking this factor into account, we as a counter team argue that Tapera is not an effective solution to the housing problem of the lower middle class in Indonesia, where this police can worsen the economic condition of the community by increasing the financial burden and creating uncertainty in access to decent housing.
Thank you all the speakers and audience who have attended and participated in this debate. Hopefully today's discussion can provide new insight for all the participants. I apologize if there is any mistake that happened during the debate. Thank you.